Or Shlomo, the whole Kalbach. So I was saying, I was just watching a video of this where he was talking about the whole Bashan year where he called it, where she asked to come sing a song on stage, Barbara Streisand. But if you Google it, Kalbach Bashan year, it'll come up also. But on there he says that he was singing in some college, and Hillel Rabbi, I think he said, and the college comes over to him and goes, I don't understand you. You didn't sing any of your old songs. No Lule Sarascha, no Shifchi. You only sang in newer songs. I don't get it. The older songs were so much more warm, so much more. And he says, let me tell you something. The songs that I made up later in life were made with a much higher level of consciousness. The people that don't appreciate it because that level of consciousness makes them uncomfortable. So as much as, we've heard from our Rabbeim over the years that Kalbach is the first level of spirituality. It's the first level, it's the gateway when you want to go in from the mundane world, from the nitty-gritty world, into a little bit of spirituality and say, hey, Kalbach's the first gateway for most people because they can sing out of concerts and they can feel connected to something through a Kalbach song.
Yeah, he was there for everybody. He was a big part of it. You have to realize who he was as a man. So.
I was watching a video of...
it depends which one. There's both. There's both.
Yeah. Mendy. Ari's the dad.
Ari's the dad.
Ari who's no more.
Awesome videos.
Yeah, he was very close to Kalbach.
Mm-hmm.
Very close, yeah. My grandfather was also close to Kalbach, but Ari, Mendy's dad was very close.
I don't think I've ever seen old videos of that. That's something that was very close to.
Yeah, Kalbach he was a whole energy that we had or Shlomo brought his best friend or his number one groupie. This guy Sammy, something. The guy was awesome. This guy had energy. He's 80 years old, like you've never seen before, and you're like getting everyone to dance as much as he can. It was wild.
So your phone in there?
Emergency! Earthquake! Get the hell out of bed!
Okay.
Call Shlomi Glick. Sorry.
Let's continue with this Torah. Torah Chav Gimel Ois Yud.
So you finished the Barbara Streisand story?
So the Barbara Streisand story, the point I wanted to bring was that, he made about his later songs versus his earlier songs, but he says she gets up there and sings a song that says, she starts talking the story about how she remembers her Zaidi, and her Zaidi would wake her up Shabbos morning, and he would say, come, Bashan, you were going to shul. And she would say, Zaidi, shul? Don't make me laugh. Oh, my Zaidi shul, don't make me cry. And he says, and then we'd walk to shul and he would ask me to hold his talis. She says, Zaidi, your talis? Don't make me laugh. Oh, my Zaidi's talis, don't make me cry. And she goes to him, and then we would get to shul. And he'd say, let's daven. And she would say, daven? Don't make me laugh. And my Zayden's davening, don't make me cry. So powerful, because that song that she got up there and sang about her life, that don't make me laugh, don't make me cry, the same exact thing. Cool. It was a very cool song. Very, very cool song. It really, really gives over what that generation was. On one hand, they were trying to laugh about it, but deep inside, they felt such a deep connection. I spoke to two people yesterday that were going through different things. And one was talking about davening, how they feel. One guy was telling me about Shabbos. It's been months that he couldn't keep Shabbos, and he's going through a very, very, very rough time in his life with a million different things. And he was having trouble with Shabbos, and he really, really broke down crying. Even though he just lost a massive divorce lawsuit and a whole different things that his life was crumbling. But when he started talking about that, he was Shabbos has been really, really, really rough for him, single for the past couple of months. He broke down crying and he goes, I feel so disconnected. I said, what you're doing is the biggest connection. The fact that you're crying the most
That
over
bothers
the
you.
fact that you're disconnected, that shows the biggest love and the biggest connection. You were more connected through every Shabbos that you're machal than some people that kept it. Because you were connecting to the Shabbos.
What's the purpose to be
One way or
connected to
another.
the best? Is the purpose to be connected or the best to keep Shabbos?
The
Very
purpose
good
Yes.
is to do. And
Correct.
we know that we want to be on that path, that we have to be on that path. And we know we're choosing not to be on that path. For whatever reason, I'm in bed, I'm not feeling it, I have my issues. I'm choosing not to take the path that I know is the right path and I have to take. I'm not saying I don't have to do it. I do have to, but I'm choosing not to. Sometimes I have to go to work and I choose not to, right? Sometimes we have to do things, but it doesn't work for me right now. I have to. I'm not telling you don't have to, you have to. But the fact that you do it because you have to and only because you have to versus not doing it and feeling horrible and feeling... But it's even more than that. It's tefillah b'loy kavuna versus no tefillah and thinking about it.
Desire.
Wanting it,
Where's
desire,
your
it,
desire?
yearning for it.
And the chika for it, and the connection to it, and that I feel horrible that I didn't do it.
And that's basically
that feeling
tefillah, the
horrible
connection.
is its own problem.
Right.
It's its own problem. But the fact that you want to do it, and you're choosing to have
Let that lift you up.
like we always
Let
say,
that get
love
under
and
your
hate-
feet instead of the
love
hate.
and hate is the exact same thing. It's just different sides of the line. The difference, the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of hate is not love. The opposite of both of them is indifference. I don't care. I don't love you.
correct.
I don't care about you. I don't hate you. I don't care about it. If I love or hate you, I'm connected to you. The opposite of both of those are both on the same spectrum because we can love and hate people at the same day. Within 10 minutes we can love and hate people. Meaning that doesn't make a difference. That's not opposite. That's the same exact thing, love and hate. The difference between them is indifference. I don't care. When you stop caring about the person, you don't hate them, you don't love them, you don't nothing.
Okay, if they hate each other.
If the couple
Yeah,
hates each other,
start
they're fighting,
respecting
you
and
know they're
caring.
still okay.
Right.
The day they stop fighting and they disconnect,
Right. That's trouble.
that's when it's over. That's when it's real trouble because there's no connection anymore. So when somebody's saying, sitting there and they're struggling with whatever they're going through, and for whatever reason they're feeling disconnected to Hashem, that is the highest level of connection. It's the highest level of connection when we know that we're disconnected. When we're feeling disconnected, that is the connection because I miss my connection.
Let's connect all the Malawi and say you need to connect them.
Oh.
You need to down.
Oh.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's not part of the yeshivas. That's
You
not-
guys
One second. Slow down. You're
As it
speeding
relates
now.
to yeshivas, we don't.
Speeding.
I always say
Our
personally.
normal derech of growing up is that.
One
there's
second.
disconnection.
Understand
Yeah,
where
children.
yeshivas come from. We're
There's
still
children.
teaching based off Greek times.
And there's children, and
You have to
we don't know. I
understand
don't know
there's
chinuch.
things, yeah.
I'm not a machanech. I can't tell you that the chinuch system was wrong. I don't know. Maybe children can't hear us. Maybe
You gotta listen to Rabbi Kalish's speech. You have to listen to the
They
speech.
just sent yesterday to the Arshama group of Rabbi Jacobson and this Dr. Zimmerman.
No.
So he was talking specifically about masturbation, but same concept. Essentially with miseducating the young and how to re-educate.
Oh, you watched that
It
whole
was
thing?
incredible, yeah. I put it on my computer and it was actually great.
Interesting that you say this. I have no idea what this is, but a couple of billionaires from WeWork, Adam Newman, and what's his name, and Trump's son-in-law, those guys.
Kushner.
They brought Rabbi Pinson down to Florida to make a new school and write a whole new curriculum for their children.
Wow, for the chinuch.
For their
How
children.
to
We want
form
a
it.
Jewish education, but we don't want what's out there.
Rabbi Pinson's into this stuff?
Yeah, he's been down there a bunch
Building
of
a new
times
system.
already. Building a new system. Okay, they're going to be hugging a lot of trees in there, and there's going to be a lot of that stuff because they're very, very part of the environmental eco. Within the Torah, this guy Zalman Shlomi Schechter. You ever see the guy? just watching him last night. Very fascinating guy. He started something called the Jewish Renewal Program, which wasn't religious at all, but they were striving a lot to be very, very interesting. I was just listening to his story of how he got thrown out of Chabad and why. But the Rebbe gave him some l'chaims. He tells a story that he was sitting there by Fabrengen, and the Rebbe called him over, and he was very into meditation. Yeah, meditations and retreats and things like that. And the Rebbe called him up in the middle of the Fabrengen and pour a full cup.
Costa.
Here's your retreat.
Here's your l'chaim.
Zalman, eins for the retreat. Takes a drink of it. Pours another. And eine for the meditation. And noch eine for the meditation. Noch eine for the meditation.
Don't do it.
He just got
Get over yourself.
L'chaim to the meditation. Now, know what you're doing, meaning get out of your head. The whole thing is get out of your way. Get out of your own way in whatever you're doing.
Don't just be meditating.
Don't just serve
forever.
that. Serve the meditation.
Exactly.
You're not serving the
Somebody was
meditation.
asking me for some advice yesterday. He was going into an interview, and he was saying, "What should I ask for this amount of money?" It was literally like it wasn't like 120 and maybe 125. It was like 120. It was like 180. Even like when you're in certain ballparks, 10,000 can be a big spread. And I was just like, it was all via text, and I was able to like, analyze a little later, and I was like, you are your own limitation. It's whatever you come in and ask for. If you believe this is what you're worth, this is
Wow.
literally
If not, you go to the next
all
interview.
on you.
Yeah.
And ask somebody else's question. You're your own limitation.
Very well said. And nobody's coming to save you.
Nobody's gonna give it to you. You are the best. 180,000. Applaud this man. Everybody get up on a chair. My wife always says, "You want something? You gotta go take it. Take what you want."
I always say, three guys get on a bus, and Safra, Papa, and a Spinker get on a bus, and there's one seat available. Who's sitting down?
What's up, man?
Who's gonna have the seat? Whoever takes it.
Simple as a simple.
Whoever
Whoever takes it.
He's gonna have it's not this one. Not
Nothing
that
to do with the
one,
person to
nothing.
do.
It's just whoever takes it. Certain people are the type to take it.
Yeah.
Certain people are the type to leave it. And I ask myself the question, sometimes I'll be that one of those three people, and one of the guys is going to take it, and he's going to sit for 45 minutes, I'm going to stand for 45 minutes. And it's not me personally, my knee-jerk reaction to take it. My knee-jerk reaction would be, I feel uncomfortable, taking it in front of other people when there's other people, forget older, even if they were all younger. Yeah, there's one seat, there's three people, but there's some people that will just sit down. And let them forget
Not
about
even
it.
think about it.
Not even think about it.
Not
Won't
even
realize it.
thinking bad, not even tripping about it.
For me.
That's why the bosses need to have a second set of stairs. No, a second set of stairs. If you need a seat, you can go on the stairs.
So there's that mentality of, if you want it, go take it. Because nobody's going to hand it to you. And nobody's going to offer you, you want to sit? No, somebody's going to go sit, and two other people are going to stand the entire time. I remember I was in a barber shop in Borough Park once. There's a long line of people waiting. And so one guy walks in, one guy gets up, the next guy's about to go, he plops himself on the chair. He just walked in. There's a line. Do me something.
Barbara didn't say like there is a.
The barber's not fighting with him either. Do me something. Yeah, that's taking it to the craziest level. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying I don't care about anybody or anything.
Where do we see this
Nobody-
by our ancestors of Rum Yitzchak Yankov that they just did what they
That they took.
they took whatever they wanted to take.
The first thing you see by, I don't know, first thing, but one of the things we see very clearly is by Yaakov and Esau. Starting from the Bechira,
He just took it. He stole it right up.
took it straight out.
Well, we see before when they're going out of the womb. He lost.
He lost.
He
Oh,
lost.
the fighting?
Yaakov.
And then he came right back and took the barachas.
Yeah. And maybe
He
that's
just
why.
took him.
You think he knew?
He took the Bechira, he just took it, he bought
You
it
think
for-
they told him,
for
we
his-
called you Yaakov because you grabbed his ankle? That's why you called you Yaakov.
Well,
No, but they knew back in the day.
Wow.
I would hope to come
Great
back.
and awesome day.
Drive safe.
Good, so thank you for being here.
Monorail.
You made the minion. It
Yes.
was mind blowing
Yes.
today. Mind blowing today what happened.
It's mainly me and Payson, but the observers that is not there.
Yes.
Don't forget about the observers. I'm still there. I left you there, but the observers. So.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Another story with the guy with the Morse code with the chauffeur.
Remember something you told us,
The guy, basically, that Jewish guy's walking to shul, he sees his neighbor.
It's called Shlomi.
Why?
Your phone went off.
Shul, maybe.
Whose phone? My phone?
Guy's like, I know.
Oh, Shlomi, he was calling?
No, you need to
Shul,
call.
whatever, what is this?
You set an
Guy's
alarm.
like, okay,
Oh, you saw that one? It was
Hours later.
it was ringing
The
there?
guy comes, stops on the road, he's like, hey, I
It's
gotta
an old
ask you a
alarm.
question, okay? What, he's like,
But I'll
what
call him,
happened
by
in
the
the shul
way.
today? What
It's a
happened?
good idea to
So
call
what are
him.
you talking about? He's like, I heard the
Hi,
sound coming out.
I need he's a nice guy. I need to, yeah, he's a very good guy.
The chauffeur?
The man is to
Yeah,
call him
who
to
was
go to certain
Why
meeting
was
to
that?
Davin to get me a sale from one of the guys there.
What do you do?
Morse code.
I sell custom signage for residential
Whatever we
buildings.
call it, professional, I can tell Morse codes, is it
Yeah.
okay? It's like,
The
ones that light up.
Ones that light up, ones that don't light
All
up.
types of stuff.
I
All
learned about
types.
it,
You're talking about
and
when like the neon signs.
I had it.
Neon
I
signs.
This way.
Oh, we need
Yeah,
one for
open.
neitzenergy.
did a room,
By
the
the way,
room
that'd
was
be
full of
awesome.
people.
Yeah, can you get us a
Where should the sign be?
No, we're gonna, it's gonna transport above his head.
It's like a small.
I want it to be like 25, 24 inches wide. Like,
24 by 24?
Morse code.
no,
No,
18
it's
tall,
Okay.
maybe.
Whatever, you basically
And
just walk
just the
into the
letters.
main, to the.
Letters,
to the
what
door.
color do we
The
want?
first guy was the last guy there.
The red, white,
One door, and then you just
I
walk
feel
in.
like an orange.
like orange yellowish.
It's like a neon yellow.
Neon yellowish.
Almost a
Ned's
little,
energy.
a little
Like
darker
his
than
glass.
his glasses I want.
It's like a brownish, orange, rustish kind of thing.
Last guy here.
Excellent.
Why did he get the job? We were all sitting here waiting.
Like, like matches your beer.
Yeah, it gives a lot of taste.
It's very
Spice.
It's very good. My beard is a little longer when you have it, so it's a bit more colorful.
I heard the Morse code.
Where do you made it? You made it where?
It's
My
They
glasses.
got from here?
But I couldn't
Yeah,
get
yeah,
the
yeah,
Morse
that
code.
was there.
What?
Tell me the Morse code. What's the code?
You did that for
Yeah,
What's the code for the show? What's
You
the
do
code?
construction?
I do construction.
Construction.
When you hear the code, you just
Beautiful.
walk in.
I do construction.
Very
You hear the
Real
code, you just
estate.
walk in.
Very good.
Cool job, Kurdish.
Good jobs, good. Whatever we get done.
Depends on which business you're talking about.
That's what we get done. Every day it's something different. Baruch Hashem.
Okay, see where it says Zay Satay and Lamed Vav? With little words a little bit, little.
Zoe Satira.
Percussion, no?
Zay Satay Lasher Rabbeinu, right? Ad Makim Shalom Yisrael, Misham Ba'al Humel Shayni. Reb Nassim saying,
My wife's a big fan, by the way.
He's watching?
Who's got to be careful over here?
Last night was great.
Misham Ba'al Humel Shayni. Masha Shamati
Tonight's
Ayy.
gonna be great, by the way.
Mitzvah B'Lashon Kodesh.
Joey Rosenfeld.
Va'oid leleihan milim. There's so much more to say. He's saying up until it was the words of Reb Nachman. From here on, Mashi Shemati ve'evanti mipiv hakadosh be'eshes achis l'shmaya mipiv hakadosh
Atoyra
hatoyra zayis. And now Reb Nachman is saying that from here on in, this is what I heard and
Understand.
understood from his, but this is not stuff that from here on in is not stuff that were reviewed by Rav Nachman. The first half of the Holakut Maran was all written by Rav Nachman also, but all of it was reviewed by Rav Nachman. The second half, the Tinyana, that was written,
Just
Rav
by Rav
Nachman
Nachman.
never got to review it.
So this is still within that, the
So
first.
this is in the first, but this second part of the Torah, he's saying up until here was there. That's the way I'm understanding. B'zayis HaTorah b'lashon Rabbeinu Zatzman ba'atzmai. Adam HaKosh Nesham le'el misham ba'al hum b'lashon Masha Shemati oid b'am shalom yizbar b'lashon HaKodesh. And a lot of the stuff that weren't explained in Lashon Kodesh because Menachem only spoke Yiddish really. Va'oid le'laham milim. Masha Shemati v'banu b'kodesh b'eish tzitz l'shmoy v'p'va kodesh HaTorah zazdo. Kashim is a noisive shalada. Keflayim ki alayda.
Interesting.
There's a number of different things that we say caution on. There's kasher mezanosav. There's the idea of shidduchim kasher,
Zivig.
zivugim shaladam.
What's custom?
It's hard, difficult.
There's a difficulty in it. Kasher, so we say kasher mezanosav of a person, keflayim kiyeleda. It's difficult, double as childbirth.
Oh wow.
The reason behind this is ki hayeledes ramas ayin. A woman in labor cries out 70 colon, ayin colon.
Did we say this before?
There was, everything that we're gonna go to, yes. No, everything that we're gonna go from here on in, he's gonna reference something back in the Torah.
But this wasn't part of this Torah. This is part of the previous Torah. Just ask.
No, it was in the same
Is it
Torah, it was
this
just
one?
earlier on, yeah.
Okay.
It's very interesting though, I like that.
There was a 70, there's the idea of a woman during childbirth going through 70 different cries.
Crazy.
Vahacha, but here by somebody that falls into typus mammon. We're not talking about kasha, doesn't mean the ability to make money.
Where do you understand that?
Because we'll see. Vahacha, but here by typus mammon. By typus mammon. Yesh kuf mem color. There are
140.
140, which is double. Why? Because we know that it says about the people that fall into typus mammon earlier, ayin le'el, and over there we said that it's that HaKadosh Baruch Hu says kalami mizroi, kalami miroishi, that my arm hurts, my head hurts, kaviyachol, meaning from people that fall into typus mammon. So there's two different pains. Two different pains is 70 times 70. So he's saying it's double childbirth, which is only 70. But we'll get to it. Kitzrichim lesnasis. I'm trying to get through the thing. The who? I don't know. Kitzrichim lesnasis start with typus zu shel mammon. We need to elevate and to
Overcome?
You have to really connect with this
What's the
idea.
lisnasis? Lisnasis elevate?
Lisnasis is to elevate.
Overcome means you're passing.
Correct.
Elevate
And
means
let's start
you're
of
lifting
let's
up.
start of is what?
It really means to connect with.
Yeah.
You have to believe in Hashem as the one that's being mefarnes the person, even with minimum effort. Lahaviach ulahoyled mammon de kedusha. The goal is to allow the currency to flow in a mammon de kedusha way without any anxieties. We have to strengthen ourselves tremendously during the time that we're actually 9 to 5ing it, and we're doing the work, and we're getting pissed off by different employees and bosses and customers and vendors and all these things that are annoying us during that time, during the 9 to 5. Between 5 to 9, it's much easier to talk this Torah. But we're talking about between 9 and 5,
Like
when
now.
you're in it. When you're in it, Shalo yipel oz l'tavas mammon klal. Don't think this guy canceling a contract means anything to your bottom line. Chaz v'shalom. And if you're thinking a whole minute, how can I make more money? How can I make more money? How can I make more money? That's typhus mammon. It should be, his business dealing should be be'emes u'be'emunah.
It's faith.
U'leshaber u'levatel kol hamachshavas u'balbulim v'atayvish almanim shabamal. And break and be mevatel and push away those thoughts as they come. Every one of those feelings of lack, every one of those feelings of desperation, every one of those feelings of tightness. Because if I don't get this deal, my entire Titanic is going to come crashing down. All of those things, all of that comes especially during the workday. La kol kavanasai, his entire intention, with doing his work and going to the office. B'shvil Hashem yizbarach levad. I'm here serving. I'm here to serve, and this is how I'm serving. And then I'm going to be able to. It's interesting that he's saying it this way because we usually say it two different ways, but we'll talk about it. See, he's going into specific the idea of earning money. He's not into the part of the working. Meaning, there's two different parts. Because in Hasidus, the whole idea is b'chol derechecha de'eyu, which means I'm not working, I'm not eating now so that I'm going to have koiches to learn. The eating is the thing. Right now I'm eating because that's my avodah to eat. And soon I'll learn because I'm going to learn. The idea of doing this so that I can do another mitzvah, that's not the Chassidish way. The Chassidish way is
Every second
I'm
you bring in
doing
Hashem.
is the avodah. It's not doing this to do that. So going to work, you can also say, it's not about making money, it's about just the work. So why is he saying, so why is the Rebbe saying, that I'm going to make money so that I can be over Hashem?
Because it's when you wake up, it's the same. When Hashem wakes you up, it's the same effort. There's no effort in any of this. You wake up, I get out of bed. Thank God, I'm lucky I got out of bed. It's the same thing with the money. You start thinking, everything. You wake up, He's gonna send you whatever's coming.
Yeah, just walk, do.
It's gonna come. It's just gonna rain.
I think what he's 100%. But and the avoid of going to work, is it's an avoid like any other avoid. Meaning we are here to serve. However we're here to serve, that's the avoid thing. But the Rebbe is talking about, but you're going to make money. But you're going to make money. What are you doing about the money part?
Correct, let's talk about the video.
You're working, it's not and you're there serving, and you're serving like you're doing anything else. Like
Now there's money in the
but now there's money. Now there's money in my video. What are we doing with that? You know what I mean? It's not a contradiction to the idea that when I'm working, I'm just serving Hashem the same way I'm serving Hashem by davening and the way I'm serving, because that's what a Chassidish Yid does. He serves Hashem this is my avodah now, and this is my avodah now, and I'm taking out the garbage, and this is my avodah now, and this is my avodah now, and I'm playing with my kids, and this is my avodah now, and there's no difference in my avodah, and I could be watching a movie with my wife, and that's my avodah now, and it's no different than learning. Meaning, I'm not saying, obviously, I'm not saying.
Yeah, there's a place for that.
Learn, and the video that you want to watch with your wife, and she's into learning, and you can learn together, unbelievable. But if she happened to be
with your wife, by the way,
even if she happened to be from the 1% of women that's not into, learning every night, if she happened to be from the 1% that's not, you're watching a movie with her is also your avodah. Right. That's the avodah. I had this conversation with my father once. It was very interesting. My parents have been asking me to the video, so it's going to be difficult. But anyway, my father came to visit once, Baruch Hashem, and I told him, let me tell you a story that happened last night. I'm curious, your take on it. As I came home, it was right when we started giving the shir here, 2 years ago, with L'Kut Maran, and I finished dinner, I go into my great room, I take a look at the house, I start preparing. My wife walks in and says, can you pass the remote? I'm like, oh, you wanted to watch? I was hoping you wanted to read. She goes, no, I was hoping to watch. I'm like, okay, I'll go to the other room, I'm fine. I said, unless you'd like me to watch with you. She said, sure, I'd love that. And I said, perfect, whatever you want, no problem. I put that aside and we watched the movie. And I said to my father, I said, at that moment when I was watching the movie, versus me going to the other room with my sefer, which way was I more connected to Hashem?
The fire question.
Same thing. I just asked somebody the other day. Same
Which
question.
way was I watching a movie?
Yeah, but straight up,
or
it's
was I
example.
learning over here?
I think that I totally get where you're going with this. I think the fact that you were already learning Isaac mitzvah, you might have made a mistake. Who am I to really say this to you? But just the way I'm thinking about it automatically. Like, I'm accepting every moment that comes my way. Like, if my wife asks me to take out the trash, I don't have a choice. That came up, right? But if I say, would you like me to put down my safer and go get the trash? Then I put myself in that situation. I don't know as much as I can accept it.
So this passage is Parsha by Sota. Okay? Hashem says, I'm willing to erase my name for Shalom Bayis.
Right.
I'm willing to erase my name for Shalom Bayis.
Right.
What does that mean practically? That if I need to run out for mincha right now, I need to go daven, but I said, I need you to do this and this with my kids, take the mincha.
No.
Okay, and then you go and you do what your wife
that's
says.
something coming to you, and then you can
You
accept
think you're
it.
erasing Hashem's name? No, that's the highest level. That is
Must be.
Hashem. That is where Hashem wants to show a bias. is a higher level, doing what your wife says, than to go down
I
mincha.
totally get what you're saying.
It's the same idea that you're
He's
sitting
asked
in
his wife.
No, but it's the
He's
same idea. The same thing. You're not erasing Hashem's name, but
He felt
the
like it
fact
was
that
important to
Shalom
ask.
Bayis
Right, I hear
is Docha,
You trust
Hashem's
yourself
name in
more.
essence. Hashem wants us to be
The
connected.
point, right, but the point is,
It has all those
everything we
factors
do
involved.
is an avodah. The whole light and
How do you,
experience of Hasidus is that.
what do you equate?
That everything we do is an avodah. Everything. And when you realize, Hashem, I'm doing your service now, I am here to serve. I'm here to serve. However you want me to serve today. You want me to be a garbage man today, I'll hop on the back of the truck.
Yeah.
Whatever you want me to do to serve, I'm here to serve. And that's it. And we were talking about the other day about Amin Yesh Mirabah. You know, what does that mean? What is the meaning of Amin Yesh? So there's a touch of the words that we touch, but what's my posture? What does it mean? When I say, Hashem, your light should shine forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I'm going to last for a couple of years, but your light's going to go forever, and I'm talking about your light going forever. What do I have? Shaykhs with the light that goes forever. When you throw a stone into a pond, and it makes ripples, right? So every ripple, the ripples keep going and going and going. The heavier the stone, the further the ripples, and the longer they keep going. Every action we do, we're here to serve. So everything is the energy, Hashem's light flowing through us. The more power and intention we put into Hashem, I want your light to shine through me. And as
Always.
powerful as it is, it will go forever. It will go forever. But it's
sense.
through me. It's me saying it. Put yourself in it.
And we like to play with others.
It's us.
Don't be playing by yourself. That's the name of the game.
It's only.
There's no I in team.
It's all about
Taking
me
it and
standing it. Me standing in the Amen Yesh Meirabah. Yeah, what does it mean with
Couldn't
all
decide
your,
it.
with everything, with all your energy? I'm putting my entire energy
There's a step
into this
today.
Amen Yesh Meirabah. I am that stone that I want you to throw me into this lake and let it ripple forever. Let me do actions today that are going to call what happened
Eternity.
here today. What happened here today. And I can tell this. Yesterday, I was having one of my moments, and I decided I'm just going to do one of those random calls, like we talk about.
wow.
And I made one of those swipes, and I called Shulam Schechter, who hasn't been here in a couple of months. The big guy that was just here.
Oh, shalom.
You know Shalom. Shulam Schechter.
He's really big.
Oh!
He's tall.
That was the secret?
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I called him yesterday. I called him yesterday random. And we have this thing that if you're ever having a bad day, just pick up your phone, swipe, wherever it ends up,
You open your contacts?
open your contacts, wherever your no, you know what happened this morning. I called somebody yesterday. I called two people yesterday with that. And one of I called him.
What do you do when you receive a text? I'll call you later. You just go to the next one?
Whatever.
You don't make a big thing.
Anyway, he answered. He's been going through a very, very rough time past couple of months. He wanted to put on fill, nothing. You understand? He just called me. I said, I'd love. Hey, you were the one that gave me the idea. Guess who was the 10th guy here today? Who was the 10th guy here today who I called yesterday? Shalom Shach.
Oh. You called him also? I called him.
You also
back
called
like
him?
2 hours later, but I didn't.
I called him yesterday, and he was here. He was the 10th guy here. He
Showing
drove
up
in from
right before
Monroe.
Barchi.
Oh, legit?
Drove in from
Wow.
Monroe and just drove back to Monroe. He's sleeping and living in Monroe. He came just to be here this morning, and he was the 10th guy.
Now I have
If
to
I
call
tell
back
you these
again.
stories don't stop. The stories don't stop when you just make these calls, just random, just call random people that you don't need anything from. That's Amen Yesh Meirabah. You just threw something in and it will ripple forever. It'll hit their children and their spouses, and it's a ripple forever. When you're saying Amen Yeshua Rabbi, you're putting yourself in that position. Hashem, use me as your tool for things that will ripple forever. La'olam la'olmei almaya. When you give a guy a good feeling and you give him something and he goes home and treats his children, that's forever and ever. That's Hashem, shine your light through me in a way that will last forever and ever. Connect to the Amen Yeshua Rabbi. It's you. The light shining through you. B'chol koicha. B'chol koicha. And that's what it means. Koicha like Zardina shel Shivim Shana. Because you're making ripples for at least 70 years. When you put yourself in that position to be the light that shines through you, the ripples go forever.
Be the calf.
Be the God. Be the God.
Is it a bakasha or it's like a proclamation that I'm aware that I'm that rack that I'm being thrown by Hashem?
Whatever makes you remember it,
The
baby.
rock is
Just
you
cook
and you're
it.
being thrown by Hashem. But B'chol koicha means you're putting yourself into the
That
experience.
ripple effect doesn't stop.
You're putting yourself into the experience. You're not just saying words.
You ever heard of Superman pose? You know what a Superman pose is? When you know those people that stand like this? That's called Superman pose. In your mind, you have to always be standing like this.
In your mind, Ben said in halacha today, you have to be careful how you stand.
Yes.
You have to stand. Some people walk into a room with the chest out.
Sometimes that's what they need
Sometimes
to do.
they need to do, and sometimes I'm
fine.
jealous of those people.
That's fine.
They're the same guys that take the one seat on the bus.
I do it all the time.
Usually.
I walk into-
Guys get on
in
the bus,
construction,
there's
you gotta
one
do
seat.
that.
Who takes the seat? Who has the
In
seat?
construction, that's what you have to do a lot. You have to
The guy
walk
with
in,
the
you know,
biggest
like
chest
The
out.
boss.
Yeah.
Also is sitting
Tell
while the
all
other
the
guys are
guys
standing.
What to do?
There are
Yeah.
20, 30, 40 people. Tell them what to do. It's okay.
Right? Easy. Yeah. Let's continue.
That's it, being timeless. You, just because you live in this time frame, doesn't mean your action will ripple and will be timeless.
Exactly. That's the idea of the Olam al-Olam.
And we downplay ourselves. Because like, oh, what do I do? What's my action to do? What's my
But there's the part of, then we made money. Now what do I do with the money?
Rakol kavunus.
You're right, I'm going to work and it's just another one of my...
Talking to the right group over here.
But now...
Now we're investing it.
Now, what are we doing here?
We need a money management one.
At this...
The Rav Nachman tell you, we're going to open it first.
By the way, we're starting another share right away after this, at about 7:30 in Gemara.
Every day.
Every day.
Yes,
we
fire.
set the Yuma. Cool. We're gonna get a feeling of Yom Kippur before Yom Kippur. No, not Ahmed, not Daf. We're just gonna learn a half hour a day Gemara. It's Kedai.
Congrats.
B'Shem Hashem Nasa v'Natzliach. B'Shvil Zeh Kashem Zaynoisav Shaladam Keflayim Kiyaleda. And therefore, this concept of being able to put our mindset in that place of really seeing Hashem, it's double as powerful and as difficult as a woman giving birth. A woman has to go through the pangs of birthing. It's like iron, and she has to scream iron, kolon koydem aleda, in order for the baby to release, in order for her, the mother, to release the baby. She needs to yell 70 times, Vahacha. But here we need to yell 140 times. Kuf mem. Kolon. Shashkina tzavachas chas b'shalom. Kalani miroishi. My head hurts. Kalani mizroi. It's heavy on me. Ad al hanoiflim b'tabas mammon. The Shechina Rachman Litzlan cries and says, I'm so sad for these people that fell into Taibas Mammon. V'kodim shemarvichem mammon tzichem leilich v'lavet v'lisnazal starv David Eloah hakuf mem kolen. They never have to go through and they have to work and elevate all these 140 kolen. V'litzaykel espal Hashem yisbach laver aleim b'shalom u'leinatzel mehem. We have to acknowledge them. We have to know they're here. We have to know there's a journey of getting through these 140. And when we get through them, we know that there's only Hashem at the end. Al ken kashim is a noisim k'flayim ki'alei. That's what it means, that it's double as painful as giving birth to Ilu Hasam. And we understand we're saying about the same thing. Birth and parnasa is the same thing. You're both birthing something new. You're creating. It's both, we want the shefa to flow is the same thing as birthing. The Ilu Hasam by a woman that gives birth, ayin kalam, v'hachakuf mam kalam v'havein. And understand. Gam Be'eras. And if we want to go into this concept of how it relates to the baby, the old mashal from Reb Mailach, fascinating story where he says one of his Talmidim came to him in a dream, I don't remember who it was, and said that you said that Mashiach is going to come either in your time or in your Talmidim's times, and he didn't come. No, Reb Mailach.
Milazhensk.
And he had a timer. You said he's coming, and he didn't come. So Mailach came to him in a dream. He told him, I'm going to tell you the secret. And you'll understand what Mashiach means. He says there was a queen and king that got married, and the island was super excited. But she didn't have a baby for a long time, many years. They have no successor to the throne. The whole country has no successor to the throne.
We were cooking at 20 years.
One day, all of a sudden, what's those tabloids called by Shopper when you check out?
National Enquirer.
National Enquirer. Puts on, rumor has it, the Queen's pregnant. You know, they're the first ones that have the rumors. Queen's pregnant, comes out, CNN confirms, Queen's pregnant. The country goes Meshega, excited. Queen's gonna have. Anyway, the country's following along, like if you go to London, England, where they're really into the king and thing, and they really care. Over here, we don't care. But in countries that they care, and every day everybody's up to date exactly how many more days, everybody knows the due date. The country's excited. She's in her 9th month, and already, like Trump's doing for his 250th birthday, they start preparing the whole White House front lawn, the whole thing. Millions of people are coming to celebrate the birth of the new king. It's coming, you know, this is ein Kleinigkeit, this is a once in a century
We're
event.
waiting for this.
And they've been waiting. Anyway, coming the day of, the week of, the island's coming, campers, coming, day of, and the baby's out. The baby ain't coming out. She's in labor and nothing. Meanwhile, outside the bands are playing. The marching bands are marching already. And this baby ain't budging. Doctor here, they're nothing doing.
Going in, it's crawling up.
She's not going up. Anyway, it's getting dangerous at this point. Some Yidala walks in and tells the king, I'm your trusted advisor. I'll tell you what to do. What are you? You're not a doctor. I'll tell you what to do, but I need you to make me one promise. Whatever I tell you to do, you're going to do.
See, even with the muscle, he has to be a Yid.
Whatever I tell you.
You heard of Maserano?
Anyway, who?
Rabbi Maserano?
No. He says, no problem, I got nothing left. This is my last choice. Let's try it. He goes, all right, kick everybody out of the room. Everybody, every doctor, everybody out of the room besides me, you, and the queen. Okay, everybody's out. He goes, now take out a pen and paper and write the declaration. Mazel tov, the queen had a healthy baby. And pass it outside to the crowd. What do you mean?
Do it.
I think. He writes the thing, he hands it to the butler outside, they stand on the balcony, they show baby, queen had a healthy baby. The place goes wild outside, a second later she has the baby. Why? And that was the end of the dream.
So Rabbi Malach came
No,
with
tell
this,
me.
came in the column
I told this story.
to like to a famous Talmud?
The time that asked him about Mashiach.
The Talmud of the Talmud.
The next generation.
The next generation. It says, if you understand this mushal, you'll understand the whole Mashiach. What's the mushal? When we're holding on to something so tight, in order to birth something new in anything in our life, we need to let go of the expectation. The expectation was so high outside, and we do it to ourselves in everything. Until
Desperation.
it was over, she feels like she's already there. She hears the music, everything, it already happened. She was able to put her mind into the set that it already happened and the pressure's over. It comes out like a baby. when you just have to get rid of the pressure. The second you can relieve the pressure and feel the feeling
And visualize that it's
of
here.
the thing happening already. Feel the feeling. In every single Torah they talk about this. And when I say Torah, I'm saying from all different aspects of mindset. Which means, if you can feel the feeling of lack fulfilled, whatever you're feeling lacking, if you're looking for love, if you're looking for parnasa, if you're looking for whatever it is, feel the feeling you're going to feel when that feeling is fulfilled. If you can feel that feeling fulfilled,
Not just think about it. You have to feel
feel
it.
the feeling.
How do I feel exalted? I always read these words. I want to feel exalted. How do I feel
So
exalted?
whenever there's a
That's not what it means. Exalted means like I feel like it means like I'm like constantly laying on a beach. Like I'm.
That's not exalted.
I don't know what it means. That's what I'm trying
But
to
any
say.
feeling, but a good trick for this, because I've tried to feel these feelings.
No.
It's very, 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 very hard to actually feel
Really,
the feelings of the wish fulfilled.
Really? I feel like
The
that should
offense
be.
is all the time, I'm making the cheesecake parties. About buy, you wanna get married, buy the ring. You know who it's gonna be, you buy the ring. And then you'll bring down that cost, cause you're living in the life of.
There
Gula.
is doing that,
You're living in the
there
Gula
is
mindset.
doing that. But how do you feel it? Those are action stuff. How do you feel it? How do you,
With action still comes
how do you feel
expectation.
it? But how do you
That's
feel
very
it?
key to know. With your action still comes an expectation.
Yeah,
So-
here we're focusing that we don't have the expectation. We already got it.
When you
And
buy